You've probably heard the reason Muslims don't eat pork is hygiene. Old desert health rules from before refrigeration existed. Here's the thing, that's not actually what the religion says. The real answer is more interesting than that. The prohibition comes straight from the Quran. It shows up not once, but in 4 separate places: Al-Baqarah 2:173, Al-Ma'idah 5:3, Al-An'am 6:145, and An-Nahl 16:115. In each of these verses, pork isn't singled out on its own. It's grouped together with carrion, blood, and meat slaughtered improperly. It's one item on a broader list of what's called haram, or forbidden, as opposed to halal, which means permissible. And here's the part a lot of people miss. For most practicing Muslims, the why isn't really the point. It's about obedience, following a command from God. Full stop. You don't necessarily need a scientific justification to follow a religious law. Jewish dietary law works the same way. Christianity notably dropped most of these food restrictions, which is actually part of why this topic causes so much confusion today. Now, that doesn't stop people from offering explanations. You'll hear a few come up again and again. The most common one, hygiene. Pigs can carry parasites like trichinosis, and in hot climates without refrigeration, that was a real risk. It's a popular theory, but a lot of scholars push back on it because it doesn't explain why other foods are also forbidden that have nothing to do with disease. The second theory is about ritual purity. In Islamic thought, pigs are considered najis, spiritually unclean, which is a different concept than just being dirty in a physical sense. A third, less scholarly explanation people bring up is the pig's diet. It's a scavenger, an omnivore, and some cultures find that symbolically unappealing. That one carries more cultural weight than religious weight. Here's something a lot of people don't realize. This rule isn't unique to Islam. Jewish dietary law, kashrut, bans pork for very similar reasons. Put the two side by side, and you'll notice Islam and Judaism actually share more dietary overlap with each other than either one does with Christianity. It's one of those quiet connections between the two religions that rarely gets talked about. A few quick misconceptions to clear up. It's not that pigs are considered dirtier than other animals in some literal sense. That's a folk explanation, not the actual theological one. And it's not about the cleanliness of any individual pig. A perfectly clean, well-raised pig from a grocery store doesn't become halal. The prohibition applies to the animal itself, not how it was raised. At the end of the day, ask 10 different Muslims why they don't eat pork, and you might get 10 slightly different answers: faith, tradition, identity, or simply because it's what I was raised with. That's true of most religious practices, honestly. So, not really about hygiene, and definitely not just an old desert survival rule. It comes down to scripture, obedience, and a tradition that goes back thousands of years. If you found this interesting, you'll probably like the next video. Subscribe so you don't miss it.